everyone, welcome back. I'm so super excited to go on a learning adventure with you, and you're here. So we should get started right away. Make sure that you are all warmed up for this one because we are learning about polar bears. Yep, that's right. Polar bears. Oh my goodness, I know. I think they're really super cute, but I don't know. Have you seen their paws with those long nails? And we always have to think about these polar bears too. As any animal, we should be thinking about ways that we can help our environment so that we can make a better place for them. Right now, some of them are in a spot where there's not so much more ice going on, and they're having a harder time finding food. But the more we talk about things like this, the more we start to learn and we think and we go and explore and find more details out for ourselves. Maybe that would be a good project for us to do. If you're interested in learning more, please do. Find your trusted family adult and you can go on a learning adventure with them as well. This is only the first stop. This is one where we get to just explore a topic, but what do I always say? We're learning how to start the conversation. So it's up to you. If you want to go and learn more, please do. Maybe you'll find some facts that you'll be able to share with me and all of us here so that we can learn even more. I would love that. So, wanted to let you know, I have 2 books that I'm going to be reading to you today about polar bears. And I also have some songs and some movement that you can get up and move and think like a polar bear, do some things like a polar bear, or maybe not. And you might even come up with your own songs or your own verses that you'd love to add to this. And I would love to hear that. And I think that you are so super smart that you can do that too. Now, as always, I want to remind you to please like and subscribe so that you could keep coming back and going on all these learning adventures with us, because I have so many fun books about snowmen and gingerbread men, all kinds of fun winter things that we can do together. And I don't want to miss it, and I don't want you to miss it. Okay? And also, these books that I'm reading are not mine. And I want to remind you that you can go and support these authors by maybe going to your local library or go to your school media center if you have one and see if they have the book. And if they don't, and you're really super interested in getting these books and starting your own library or doing fun things like I am, please do. And consider maybe even purchasing these books. I'm sure you can find them, so let me tell you about them. This is Big Bear, Little Bear, written by David Bedford and Jane Chapman. And this one is Discovering My World, Polar Bears by Melvin and Gilda Berger. But before we get to those, I want you to get on up and get ready to do Polar Bear, Polar Bear. Now, I'm going to say some things almost like Simon Says, but I'm changing Simon Says into Polar Bear, Polar Bear. And this isn't mine either, but I found it so that we can share it all together. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Polar Bear, stand on up. Okay, you get up, okay, and get ready to move if you can. And if you can't, stay in your seat, just like me. I can still do some of these things too. No problem. Here we go. Now that you're standing, Polar Bear, turn around. Stop. Polar Bear, touch the ground. Are you touching the ground? I am. Polar Bear, reach up high. Polar Bear, touch the sky. Polar Bear, bend down low. Polar Bear, touch your toes. Polar Bear, march upstairs. Go bring those knees up high if you can. I'm sitting down and I'm marching my legs in place as best I can. Polar Bear, turn on the light. Polar bear, polar bear. Wash your face. Good. Polar bear, stop. Polar bear, say hello. Hello. Polar bear, turn out the light. Polar bear, say good night. Wake up, we're not done. Oh, wasn't that fun? You can make up all of your own things if you want. You can talk about eating, you can put on your shoes, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you. Hope that was fun and hope that gives you some ideas. Good job, everybody. We have another one about Marco the polar bear. Marco the polar bear. Let's see. Make a big circle out in front of you. There you go. White as the snow. Sat down on the ice. Sit down. Near the cold water's flow. Lunch. I need lunch, he said. I'll make a wish. He stuck in his paw and came up with a fish. That was fun. What was he doing? Yeah, he was near the water. It sounds like he was almost ice fishing. Has anyone here ever done any ice fishing? Now, I haven't, but I've seen people do it, and I've seen lots of movies about it, and even have read some books where I saw people doing it. And if the ice is thick enough and safe enough, remember, we don't ever just run out onto a frozen pond or river, because it may look like it's strong enough to hold you, but it may not be. It has to be really, really thick to help support us, right? So please be very careful. Never run out unless your trusted adult is with you, or you hear from someone that says that it's safe enough, okay? Always make sure and check. These are polar bears. They're used to stuff like this, right? We're not. That's okay. Well, anyway, ice fishing can sound pretty fun. And that's what they do. They cut a big hole and they reach in. The polar bears I'm talking about. We cut the ice, but the polar bears reach in and they look for the fish. And sometimes if they can grab it, they're going to eat it because that's their favorite dish. I made a rhyme. Okay, guys, are you ready to hear 2 stories today about polar bears? One is this one about Big Bear, Little Bear. And the other was the Discovering Our World, right? Discovering My World. And this one is having real pictures in it and gives us real details. Now, like I said, this isn't the only thing that we can do to learn about it, because it's not going to tell us everything about a polar bear that you may want to learn about. So you might go on and discover even more. Okay, ready? Get yourselves ready. Listen with those ears and use your eyes to look for details. You might see more things than you hear in the story. Oh, what a beautiful picture already. Oh, wow. One bright and cold morning, Little Bear helped Mama Bear scoop snow out of their den. "This will make more room for you to play," said Mama Bear. "You are getting bigger." Yeah, they spend a lot of time in that den. And the babies, when they're born, the cubs, are little. And they start to grow and get bigger just like you. And that's true. Mama Bear knows they might be running out of room in that den. Wow, look how tall Mama Bear is when she stands on her back legs. "I am?" asked Little Bear. "What is it like to be big?" "When you are big, you can roll little bears in the soft snow," said Mother Bear. Little Bear giggled as he turned over and over. They're looking like they're having a lot of fun, don't you think? When I am big, will I run as fast as you? Little Bear asked as he hurried to keep up with Mama Bear. Oh, yes, said Mama Bear, and she waited for Little Bear to catch up with her. Mama Bear helped Little Bear climb onto her shoulders. I'll show you what it's like to be grown up, she said. I can see to the end of the world, cried Little Bear. He reached up, and I can almost touch the sky. That's part of like what we were doing before, right? Suddenly, the wind rushed against Little Bear's face and blew his ears back. Hold on tight, cried Mama Bear. Is this how I'll run when I'm grown up? Wondered Little Bear. Wow, they can run pretty fast on that snow. I'm flying like a bird, shouted Little Bear. Oh, look at his face. What do you think? Are they having fun? Looks like it to me. I agree. Hold your breath, Mama Bear called. Splash! Ooh, where's she going? In the water. They're excellent swimmers, didn't you know? Yeah, they can swim. What do you think they're going in the water for? Just to have fun? Well, maybe they like to have fun in the water and get some exercise, but I think they might be looking for something. When I'm big, I will dive into the water and swim like a fish, Little Bear thought to himself. He watched his mother carefully so he could know how. Mama Bear climbed out of the water with Little Bear, clinging tightly to her back. When I am big, I want to do everything grown-ups can, said Little Bear. You will, said Mama Bear as she carried Little Bear back to their snow den. Will I feel as if I can touch the sky and run as fast as the wind and swim like a fish? Asked Little Bear. Yes, said Mama Bear. That is what happens when little bears grow up. Suddenly, Little Bear yawned. It had been a busy day. I am going to like being grown up one day, said Little Bear sleepily. It was a big, exhausting day. They did amazing adventures together out in the snowy and icy land, climbing on mountains, running as fast as they can, splashing down into the water. And that is where they go and search for their fish to eat too. Oh, especially when you'll be there to show me how. He snuggled into his mother's soft fur and went to sleep soundly in her cozy den in the snow. Oh, that's so super cute. Now, we never want to go in there and wake them up when they're so quietly sleeping and deep in sleep. How would you feel if someone woke you up when you were sound asleep? Sometimes we wake up grumpy, right? And off they go the next day on their adventure. Wow, that must be quite the experience for them out in that cold, dark place. Didn't look like too many other bears were around, right? Wow, I would love to learn more. I hope you do. Let's see if we have any new details in this story about Discovering My World, Polar Bears, again by Melvin and Gilda Berger. Look at that bear. See, now that was an illustrator who drew a picture of a polar bear doing something just like this, except in the story the polar bear was standing all the way up, Look how tall this bear looks already. Now, if he was standing up on those back legs, might even be taller. For sure, even taller than me. Polar bears live in the Arctic. The Arctic is a very cold place. Is the Arctic icy? Can be. Sometimes it gets so cold it's hard for even the snow just to be there. It's so dry. Polar bears like cold places. Now, I don't live anywhere near where they naturally live, so I don't get to see them except that if I go to a place that has some polar bears in rehabilitation, that they're helping them get better and feel better. Polar bears have thick fur. Fur keeps the bears warm. They have a layer that helps keep them warm against that cold, cold air. Now think about it. If you live where it's cold, like I do, I have a season of when it gets cold. Do you remember there's 4 seasons? Spring, summer, fall, or autumn, and winter. I'm in winter where I'm at. Right now, it's a little chilly outside. So I have my nice warm hat on. I have a sweatshirt and some long pants and my cozy boots on with nice thick socks to help keep me warm. Because I don't have fur like this polar bear to help keep me warm. So think about that. If he has the fur and I have to put so much on to keep warm, but they're saying that this fur keeps him warm enough. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Polar bears walk on snow and ice. Now, I was just saying I have something on my feet. What did I say that I had on my feet to keep me warm? Boots, right. Now these boots that I'm wearing are pretty awesome, but if it gets really super, super cold, I'm not too warm on there without some thick socks. But do these polar bears have boots on? No. Their bodies were created in such a way that they can walk straight on that snow and ice and still be able to do it. Their flat feet are like snowshoes. It says, do polar bears have furry feet? What's so special about snow boots? Sorry, snowshoes. There's something very special about snowshoes. Not snow boots, but snowshoes. They are usually for people. We wear them and they're long, especially if you're going to be in deep snow. And they're much bigger than what your shape of your foot is. And guess what? It helps us from sinking into the snow. If the snow is pretty loose and it's thick, you can wear them when you go out and discover and explore out into a snowy area. Or if you live in an area and you need to get somewhere, people put on these special snowshoes to keep them from falling into the snow, because the bigger it is, the more it can keep us from sinking in. Just like the polar bears. How interesting. And if you're not sure yet, because I don't have a picture of a snowshoe for you, because I would love for you to go and explore that. Maybe make a drawing to help you even understand it. Maybe you can think of something about how would you make one if you needed one with the things around you. These are great topics of discussion, or for you to use your imagination and explore. Polar bears like to swim. There they are. They're really good swimmers. It says, can polar bears swim underwater? Well, let's look at that picture. What do you think? Yeah, I agree. And look at them. They can hold their breath and it doesn't go in their nose. When I go underwater, I still need to hold my nose and get a deep breath. And then I jump in. But these polar bears, nope. They know how. They take a deep breath just like I just did, and they can go swimming for a long time in that water. They can even dive too. It says polar bears like to dive too. Pretty impressive, guys. Polar bears make dens in winters. What are their dens made of? No fancy equipment here. No extra wood or blocks of chunks of rocks or things, although they might have one there that helps make a good spot for them. Polar bears know how to dig out with those big paws and make a space in there. They're pretty good. Look at that. Yeah. And cubs are born in that den too. Now that goes along with our story that we were just reading, where we saw that the cub was getting bigger while living in that den, and they had to scoop out more snow to make more room the bigger the cub kept getting. And in this one, how many cubs do you see? Yeah, 2. And this is Mama. And she's probably laying outside. It looks like it's not a windy, breezy, snowy day. And I see the sun there, so maybe it got a little bit warm and they decided to get some fresh air together. Polar bear mothers take care of their cubs. What is the mother bear doing? What do you think? Yeah, she's protecting them. It looks like it too. I agree. Maybe it's so cold out, the cubs were a little tired, but they were playing out there all that time, and they came by the mom to get warm or protected from the wind. Yeah, good thinking. I love that about you. You're always thinking about all these ideas and coming up with some really good questions. The cubs stay close to their mothers. Oh, just like in the story, right? That little cub got on Mom's back and went for an adventure. And here we see the cubs are climbing up on Mama. Here are some questions you can think about from our story and maybe our other one. Or if you're not sure, go back in our video and listen for some of the details, or go ahead and explore some new books about these polar bears, amazing polar bears, and find some of these answers too. What do polar bears, where do polar bears live? Is the Arctic cold? Can polar bears walk on ice? Where are polar bear cubs born? Are polar bears good mothers? And I'm going to add one to that. If you think they are, what about the things that we saw makes you think that they are doing something good? What were they doing in these pictures? Look at you go. Oh my. You guys are super, super, super smart. Thank you for listening, and thank you for going on this adventure. I hope that it inspires you to go and maybe learn more about these amazing polar bears and where they live and what do they eat? How big do they get? Those are good questions for you to go and explore. Thank you guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you can come back to our next learning adventure. Hey, I hope that you have a great week ahead, learning more, and don't forget, be kind and say hello to a new friend and help them have a great day. All right, guys, I'll see you again, and don't forget to come back.